Hello EWG community. This is Samantha Gordon with more wind turbine content. Today we'll have interviews with Akira Hall and Emily Yoon from the EWG wind turbine team. They will be telling us about their experience at the Rhode Island National Guard STEM event at the Air National Guard Base in Quonset on June 3rd. Let's hear from our first reporter, Danae Mahanadet, who has interviewed these two students from the wind turbine team.
I'm Danae Mahanadet with two interviews from students on the wind turbine team. They share their personal experiences and journey in the club. First is Akira Hall telling us how he joined the team and everything they've done so far. How did the interview in Texas go?
It went pretty well. Overall, we didn't get as much as we wanted to get out of it because we had some complications. But overall, we had a good experience, and we spent a lot of the time engineering different things. We went through multiple iterations of designs for blades and wind tunnel setups to solve problems. For some of the instant challenges, which were basically challenges outside of what we had prepared for, we did very well for because that was just kind of improvising, but we weren't able to get up to the standard we kind of wanted to for the building segment.
Mm-hmm. So were there any complications that went along with that?
Yeah, one of the complications was that our state competition was very different from the national competition, and because of how close they were to each other, that basically meant that we were unable to get the time we wanted to set up for the national competition. We basically had to do everything we had there at the national competition because we had to send all of our things away 2 days after the state competition.
Tell me about how the Air National Guard presentation went.
That was very more relaxing. We had a pretty good time there, and it was interesting to talk about all the things we've learned over the year with other STEM students. We also set up our wind tunnel to do a demonstration for our wind turbine, and it worked very well, and it was just much more calming and like a nice relieving end to the work. That's great.
Looking back on this whole experience, is there anything that really stands out to you or anything that you think you've gained from it?
I thought we learned a lot about the engineering process and like a lot of just information about renewable energy, which is helpful. It was also just like, for me, I went into it really wanting just for the physical like hardware aspect of it with like almost like puzzle solving, and I think I got a lot out of that, just like more engineering practice, and that was just interesting. A lot of other people gained knowledge about other aspects of wind turbines, like some people gained more about wind turbine blade design or electronics.
Thank you, Akira Hall, for this fantastic information. Next up is Emily Yoon with her personal experiences from the wind turbine PLT. So how did you first get interested in joining the wind club?
So to be honest, I kind of just joined on a whim because at the time it seemed to be like the most interesting PLT that was being offered. And I'm not like really someone who's going into engineer, but my dad is a wind turbine like blade engineer, so I just thought it would be interesting to like see what he does.
That's very cool. What do you think you've contributed to the team?
So there's like a lot of different aspects to like what we do. So there's the research and design and presentation and like writing in the engineering notebook and like adding guided entries and like preparing for interviews for both like states and nationals. And I think like I helped with a little bit of everything, I think.
How did your team do in the last competition?
So nationals was very stressful, but it was also very fun, and I think I'm really impressed with what we got done with the little time we had to prepare for it. And I think Ms. BC told us that we got our teams got like third or fourth in our division, which is really impressive. So
yeah, wow. Have you achieved any personal goals or singular goals?
I guess one personal goal is because this was my first year here, so I was just like trying to become more active in the community and like make new friends and stuff. So I think I really got like closer to my team members this year.
Where are you all planning to go with the wind turbines from here?
I think just building on our current knowledge and attracting new members and hopefully like preparing for next year's competitions too.
Thank you, Emily Yoon. It was great to see how your team has grown, and we loved learning about your own experiences working with the Wind Turbine PLT. Back to you, Sam.
Thanks today. Now let's hear from reporter Catherine Larned, who interviewed the teacher in charge of the Wind Turbine team, Mrs. Biagioni Shimura, telling us about her experiences with the team and events they've attended. Take it away, Catherine.
Hi, I'm Catherine Larned, interviewing Mrs. BC for the Mercury, discussing her role in the Wind Turbine team. We'll get to see her perspective and idea of things regarding competitions they recently took place in and special events. So how was the San Antonio competition?
The San Antonio competition was absolutely fantastic. From the moment we left Boston to the moment we came back, everything was, I'm going to say, new and fun and exciting.
Awesome. So could you tell me more about the Air National Guard event that you guys took place in?
The Air National Guard event happened last Friday. It was a STEM exploration event that the Air National Guard had put together where they had a whole bunch of display tables. A lot of colleges and universities were there, especially University of Rhode Island and New England Institute of Technology. They had a lot of different degree pathways, I'll say, that were there. Robotics and underwater things. We were actually the only high school there to present, which was really, really exciting. So about 700 kids from across the state came down to the Air National Guard base, and they got taken through and got to walk through and talk to all of the different vendors and things like that. So we would be considered a vendor for that particular event, and that was pretty much it. I mean, it ended with an air show, and the kids got to go on some planes, so that was exciting too.
That seems so fun. So will this club PLT pathway continue? Could you tell us more about the purpose and everything that takes place?
Absolutely. So the offshore wind energy pathway is in the process of getting CTE approval. So it's going to be a full career and tech pathway starting hopefully next year. So it's a full thing, and we're looking to build the program as much as possible. And the kids doing so well 2 years in a row at the national event and the state event is a really good place to start.
Awesome, thank you. And what other projects or ideas do you have that you want to showcase for this PLT?
Well, I think it's going to be a case of going back and preparing better for the competitions. So now that we've got a little bit more experience under our belt and we understand that they're doing some hydropower things and some floating wind turbine stuff, we're going to start incorporating that into our regular routine and hopefully get a floating wind tunnel and work some solar events in too.
Thank you to Mrs. BC for her input on running the wind turbine team. She really enjoys what she does and loves to see what her students come up with. Students, check out the wind turbine team and engineering pathway next year if anything from this grabs your attention. Thanks again. Back to you, Sam.
Great, thanks, Catherine. And thank you to all of our interviewees. We're glad you got to present your skills and speak with other intellectuals at the STEM event. We hope to see more great accomplishments from you all in the future and that you enjoyed this learning experience. Thank you all for watching this EWG Mercury News channel. We hope you enjoyed this report on EWG's own wind turbine team. Have a great day and don't forget to tune in next time.